Oh, man. Oh, y'all. My nerves are shot, y'all. Oh, let's fucking go. Oh. What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Whiskey and wine. Wow. Amazing win. Amazing win on the road for a team and a coaching staff that spent 9 months saying 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. What an amazing win to go on the road in a setting that felt very familiar. LSU led last year on the road at neutral site, but LSU led going into the fourth quarter last year and couldn't finish it. You let it get away from you against UCLA in 21, different team, I know. You had the mistakes against Florida State the first year, and then the block PAT. God. Yo, we have so much to get into. I mean, welcome in, first of all. Thank you so much for being here with us. I know I got to talk about this game. I know Whiskey and Wine feels different. But damn it, like, I'm so fired up to be here with y'all another season. LSU just exercised that season opening demon, went on the road, got the best win of the weekend with respect to Ohio State. I think you look at Ohio State and Texas, and you look at the two teams that just played in this game, and you're talking about two dramatically different teams right now. And it's the difference between having veteran quarterback play and super talented defenses, and what we saw for a half or for that game up in Columbus, Ohio, where you get two first-time starting quarterbacks have a long way to go. Probably going to be great players, but my goodness, this was the game of the weekend. And I got a million thoughts in my brain, y'all, because, you know, having gone out and watched this team at fall camp every day that they let us and seen so much, like, you look and you go, I've watched a lot of football in my life, and I watch this defense flying around, and I see all the depth and the talent, and I know they're way better than they were a year ago, and they're really good. And Harold Perkins looks like himself again, and you know, Patrick Payton and Bernard Gooden are monsters, and Mansour Delane is a true number one cornerback, and AJ Halsey is a stud. And you just go, man, they're better on that side of the ball. And so then people are like, you know, we're doing practice reports all throughout fall camp, and I keep getting this shit about, like, man, is the offensive line really bad? I'm like, I get it. I get the concern because of last year, but man, like, I really think this defense is good. My one quote unquote bold prediction for the season was that LSU, for the first time since 2017, would finish top 20 in the country in total defense. And tell me that fucking unit doesn't look like it's like a top 20 defense. Tell me that's not a top 20 defense in the country we just watched tonight. I mean, what a day, man. Y'all, I know it's not the same without T-Bob. I know it. It's a different show. Jordy and I started Whiskey and Wine in 2017. He and I did it for 4 years. Then T-Bob came on in 2021, a different vibe, whole thing together. I know it's different. Y'all try to get me on one, bro. Jump in the pool. Y'all crazy, bro. I'll jump in the pool for national championships, but you know what I am going to do, because that's such a massive win, and the first time LSU's gotten a season opening win in 5 years. I brought out the Rip 10. This is what I was drinking when LSU baseball won the Natty. So I'm going to pour a little Rip Van Winkle 10-year, and let's do our toast, man. I don't care. Look, I know a lot of y'all miss us being at Don Juan, miss not having T-Bob here. We're still going to talk about this game. There's a ton to dive into. I'm going to take your questions and comments, so fire away. I'm so glad to have y'all with us here. cheers to another season of LSU football. So y'all do the drill, man. Whatever you got in your glass, raise it up, toast with us. You know the drill. Take a picture, post it on social media, tag me. Would love to give you a retweet, a share, Instagram story, all that sort of stuff. So cheers, everybody. Tigers win. Welcome into a victorious Whiskey and Wine. LSU beats Clemson 17-10. The LSU Tigers, the real Death Valley, go on the road and get an awesome win. So cheers. All right. We're brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Big shout out as well to Got Lit Light Installers. My buddy Derek Hudnall, been telling you about them for a few years. They do your Christmas lights. It's easy. Like, you pay them, they come install. They bring their own lights, they install it. When season's over, they come get them, take them away. You do nothing, and your home looks beautiful. So, GotLitLights.com, 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 and 929 Misfits is over there as well. Mark said, I'm here for the vulgarity. Where is it? Well, fuck you, Mark. Get the fuck out of here, bitch. If that's what you want, get the fuck out of here, man. I have to sit here and listen to whatever the fuck you want, Mark, you little bitch. Sorry, Mark. I love you. I'm sure you're good. But I was just giving you what you want, some vulgarity. All right. Few big picture takeaways. Number one, I think that's the hardest game LSU is going to play all year. That is the hardest game. That is the most difficult game LSU will play all year, on the road at Clemson. And you just went on the road. That, like, I know if you look at like FPI and the percentages, the lowest percent chance LSU had winning a game this year was at Alabama, which was at like 24%. How different do we feel about that today? Oh, do I have feelings about the Crimson Tide? On some real shit, I do need someone to help me find a white horse, because I legit said on AFR on Friday, hey, man, you're getting to Bama's burning. Like, I didn't think it was going to happen, but Bama loses to Florida State. I'm riding in on a white horse dressed up like Chief Osceola with a flaming spear I'm going to throw in the ground. And I got every intention of doing that. So I need – anybody got a white horse? Like, I need somebody to help me. Like, I'm not joking. Like, I'm doing this. I need somebody to help me find a white horse. Damn right. All right. Massive win. Just an enormous win. And I'm getting all my thoughts together. I want to run through the game like we always do. My biggest takeaway with this thing, y'all, is the fucking defense. I mean, yo, when was the last time we saw an LSU defense look like that? I mean, my bold prediction this year was LSU's defense would finish top 20 in the country in total defense. Because I felt like what I was watching in fall camp was legitimate. And they were awesome at every level. The other thing that we talked so much about, obviously, was the offensive line and the ability to run the ball. Garrett Nussmeier was sacked one time in this game. It was that sack in the first quarter. It was LSU's there was it was LSU's third. It was LSU's possession that carried into this. Oh, we're going to talk about that. It was the 53-yard field goal drive when they took the 12-yard sack, which kept shooting themselves in the foot, but they overcame and got points there. But the offensive line, I thought, held up great. The other thing I said was we would look at the end of the game, Saturday night, Sunday morning, we would look at the box score and we would look at LSU's rushing total, and that would tell us the story of the game. And LSU in this ball game ran it 31 times for 108 yards. Now you had the kneel downs at the end, so you had the minus 2 yards to the team total. Of course, the 12 yards for Nuss's sack yardage. So you actually had you ran for 120 actually in this ball game. If you take away the kneel downs and the and the sack yardage. So you ran it really 28 times for 120. Yup, that'll play. On the road against that defense and that environment, Caden Durham, 17 for 74. Xavier Thomas got involved in the running game, 3 for 26. Juwan Johnson touched it a ton tonight. He had 3 rushing attempts, and Juwan Johnson caught 5 passes. He had 8 touches in this ballgame. Brian Kelly said he was going to be a part of the offense. He wasn't lying. I mean, when we go out there to fall camp and we're watching practice and they're doing red zone drills and doing screen, if you listen to our camp reports, like told you repeatedly, like they did periods that were just dedicated to screens. And how many, like they ran the fucking screen to Juwan Johnson on 3 straight plays in the fourth quarter. Like, I mean, it was incredible. Like, the amount of offensive weapons they have. You know, one of my big questions was, how are they going to keep everybody involved? How are they going to keep everybody happy? Well, it's a pretty good start. In this ball game, you had Durham, Thomas, Johnson, Nuss, Harlan, Berry, Caleb. 6 different players had a rushing attempt. And then Anderson, Johnson, Brown, Sharp, Durham, Tradez, Xavier, Kyle Parker, Chris Hill, 9 different receivers caught a pass, or 9 different players caught a pass. 6 different players had a rush, 9 different players caught a pass. And I know this is another thing I'm going to talk about. I'm going to get there. But the Harold Perkins is back comments. I mean, you can only say it until like people have to see it for themselves. But we talked about all during fall camp. When he went out there the first day at fall camp, it had no brace, no limitation whatsoever, and was flying around. It was obvious. There was one practice where he had an interception, a TFL, and a pressure, which forced the ball, throw the ball away in the ground. It was obvious. Like they have him. I keep saying like they have him in his natural habitat. Like he's not playing off the ball. He's not being caught up in the scrum. He is playing out in space, and it is a perfect spot for him. Go in the second half. He was spying Klubnik. Perfect. They brought him on blitzes. You saw the pressures. Harold Perkins in this game, his final defensive stat line was Perk on defense, led the team with 5 tackles. He had a sack and 1.5 TFLs, 2 quarterback hurries. I mean, that's Harold Perkins. Affect the game in so many different ways, and he did. All right. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. I'm a hang here for. We got 4,000 people watching, man. I fucking love y'all so much. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I'll answer questions about the T-Bob stuff, and if everybody wants to know why we're not at Don Juan, I'll be more than happy to do that. Let me do this. Let me run. Yeah, y'all hear the frogs. Let me run through the game flow like we always do. I thought commitment to the run game. I thought, we wondered about the offensive line, and they stuck with 5 really the whole game, except for when Tyree Adams got hurt. How about DJ Chester going in at left tackle? Did not see that. Like I don't think we saw a single. Seriously, I don't think we saw a single practice where DJ Chester took a single rep at left tackle. And when Tyree Adams went out, Chester was in. So it goes to tell you he's their 6th guy. Somebody goes out, Chester's the next guy to go in any of those positions. I'll check the participation report, but I do not think Kerry's Kern played. I don't think Cohen Eccles played either. So they stuck to those 6 offensive linemen. Antonio Williams got hurt early. Don't know how much that affected the game, but I think LSU was awesome. It wouldn't have mattered. I do want to talk about the 4th down decision at the end of the first half. Let me do that now, because I'm sure that's the one thing that someone's saying Eccles did play. I didn't see him in there, but I believe you. He played on offense, played on special teams. All right. Do y'all want me to talk about the end of the first half situation right now, or do you want me to go into game flow? I'll look at the first five. Do you want me to go just run through game flow, or do you want me to talk just about the end of the half thing right now? Or y'all saying when Adam's out? Okay. I have no problem at all with the decision to throw the screen. There was a lot of people who didn't like that play call. I don't mind the decision to throw the screen. You did, I think, functionally in that situation what you're supposed to do. You call the timeout. There's 15 seconds left, so you have time now to set the whole sequence. Not only that situation, what you're going to call on that fourth down play, and then if you get it, if you convert, what your next play is going to be, because the clock's going to stop for a first down, and you can take a shot into the end zone. And you're reminding us, hey, look, the ball's got to come out. It's got to go into the end zone. Anything short of the end zone, we're going to run out of time. So you're reminded of that. You have the next play call. So you have that whole sequence called. So I have no problem running the screen. Some people didn't like you threw a screen pass to a senior receiver in space and tried to get him to make a play. He didn't make the play. Hilton caught the ball. He got tackled. He didn't make the play. I have no problem with the play call or how that was working right there. My gigantic issue is Brian Kelly continues to pass on points. This is my biggest problem. Like, it didn't cost you, but that was a situation there at the end of the half where you could have gotten points when you were really struggling to sustain drives offensively and get yourself an opportunity to score. And you drive right down the field, and you're there at the two. You're at that drive started your own 25. You went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 plays. 12 plays. You're in the red zone, and you don't come away with points. Like, he did the same thing his first year against Florida State, opening drive. Well, actually, they did kick the field goal because they had an errant snap. The Orlando game against Florida State, they got stuffed. Last year, they did the same thing against USC. They went forward on a fourth down on the opening drive of the season and got stuffed. I absolutely hated the decision not to take the points right there. Like, you continue to do it, and I understand you got to be better in the red zone. You want to be better in the red zone, and to be able to do that, you got to be able to take those chances. But in that situation, you're down. You have an opportunity to put points on the board. You've got to take the points. I mean, I scream about this all the time. I tweet about it all the time. Why do coaches hate points? Like, the objective is not to get yards. The objective is not to get first downs. The objective is to score points. And when you have an opportunity to score points, go fucking score points. And I hated that decision there. But I don't mind at all the decision to throw the screen pass. Again, if you convert, the clock stops. You're coming out of a timeout. So you have already called the next play. So in theory, it's convert, get up to the line, take your shot to the end zone. It's touchdown, or it's incomplete, and then you go kick the field goal. Fine with that. I just hate the decision to go for it. All right. The other thing, Clint said, Matt, what's the catch rule in college football? Clint, I don't think I fucking know what a catch is anymore, because Barry and Brown got robbed of a touchdown. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I went on a sports betting show up in Chicago earlier today, and I told him I loved Barry and Brown anytime touchdown and the under in this game. The under was a rocking chair. I told y'all all week that was my favorite play the entire week of the entire game, was the under in this game, which was a rocking chair. And I had Barry and Brown anytime touchdown, and I got robbed because Barry and Brown scored a touchdown, and that came at such a pivotal point. And if you think about this, that was the Barry and Brown touchdown review. So Monster Delane gets the interception. That's when they took the shot. Brown should have scored. And instead, you end up missing the field goal there. You want to talk about what felt like an awful low moment in the game after you had tied at 10. You get the interception. You're going to go take your first lead. It looks like you do it on Barry and Brown's touchdown, and then you end up getting no points there. But the key point of that game, and this is the point why this defense deserves so much credit, because after that moment right there, you know what the defense did? 7-yard run, loss of 2. It was Cade Klubnik, and then incomplete pass on third down, forced a 3-and-out, got the ball right back. Offense went down, scored on Trey'Dez Green's touchdown. LSU took the lead that they wouldn't give up. The defense was awesome tonight, man. They were awesome. And when you have a defense that's that deep, the first play of the game, let's do game flow. First play of the game, y'all. The first play defensively for LSU was Patrick Payton deflecting the ball at the line of scrimmage. First defensive play of the season for LSU. I mean, like, that's the difference. That's the difference. It's not just, hey, Witt, go make every tackle. You've got Witt, and you've got Perk, and you've got Delane on the back. And by the way, hat tip to Jordan Gilbert. Jordan Gilbert, I thought, played really well in the first half, man. But you could see the difference. You could see the difference when Halsey came on the field in the second half. Even the play that the big receiver made on the high ball over there, where Halsey went low and lit him up, and it held on. Still a great defensive play. Almost had an interception as well on the goal line. But anyway, all right, let's go through game flow. Y'all do me a favor. It's about 4,721 of you watching live. I love y'all so much. Thank you so much for being there. Please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Big shout out, Parish Construction and Roofing. You need if you need a roof, we'd love to help you out at Parish Construction and Roofing. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Got Lit Light Installers, my buddy Derek Hudnall does awesome work. GotLitLights.com. Everything's scrolling on the bottom right here. GotLitLights.com. As a matter of fact, I'll put the link here in the chat for you. There it is. In case y'all are interested. By the way, the thing about Got Lit, I know people say, Matt, it's August. Like, what are you talking about? It's not Christmas time yet. I hear you. But same thing as last year, they get booked up by the time September's over for their installs. Like, if you think I'm going to call it Thanksgiving, like, you're probably not going to get on their books. So anyway, GotLitLights.com. Get an estimate now. GotLitLights.com. Okay. All right, let's start. So LSU did get the ball to start the game. Brian Kelly did not elect to receive. Clemson won the toss and deferred, because that's what you're supposed to do. You defer when you win the toss, because you want the opportunity to go back-to-back possessions at the end of the first half, start of the second, and you want the extra possession in the second half, which Clemson got, and LSU's defense made the play at the end. Josh Roy said, Matt, what's the name of the company that sprays fogs for mold? That's Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Okay, so LSU gets the ball to start the game. Not a bad drive. They actually put together a couple of first downs. I mean, the first play for LSU was the Caden Durham run. When this felt like a pretty good omen, right? First play of the game, Durham starts left. It looks like he's bottled up. He breaks out, kicks to the right, and runs for 24 yards, right up to midfield. And all of a sudden, you're feeling like, okay, here we go. We got something cooking now. Then Bowersharp gets the catch. They would get another first down on a reception by Caden Durham, and they're moving the ball. Caleb Jackson had one rush in the game. It was right there. He lost a yard. He didn't get another carry in the game. And then on a 3rd and 11 play after the Caleb Jackson rush, another issue reared its ugly head from a season ago, and LSU had to burn a timeout with the play clock running down. This happened twice in the first quarter, including on the first 3rd down LSU faced of the game. Look, we crushed Les Miles for years about clock management, and this has been an issue with Brian Kelly. It is. They waste timeouts. It was an issue with Ed Ogeron too, by the way. But if I'm going to criticize Ogeron for it, I'm going to criticize Brian Kelly for it, because this happens way too much. The lack of urgency offensively, and they waste timeouts. And it happened twice in the first quarter. So you end up punting. They get the ball, 3-and-out sack. And how about PJ Woodland coming up with the sack on 3rd and 8? on a corner blitz. Great play by P.J. Woodland. Great design by Blake Baker, who brought pressure all night long. The final defensive stats, LSU ended up with 2 sacks, 4 TFLs, 6 pass breakups, an interception, and 5 quarterback hurries. Cade Klubnik was under duress all night. Every time he was dropping back to pass, it felt like he was under duress. So fantastic job by Woodland. So LSU forced a 3 and out. Tigers get the ball back, and this is when things kind of started to suck. On 2nd and 7, Bauer Sharp fumbled. He was that far from being down. His shin was like, that far from the ground. He fumbles there, and it's a I do want to compliment Bauer Sharp, though, because I think there's a few moments in the game that affect scoring that I think are important to note. For example, obviously LSU not taking the points at the end of the first half was massive. The Berrien Brown, that's 3 points potentially. The Berrien Brown touchdown that wasn't where LSU got no points. You took a touchdown off the board. That's right there is 10 points. LSU, like this could have been, if LSU played a clean game, this could have been so much easier. But this was another one. On the fumble, if you go back and watch it, Bauer Sharp's fumble, Bauer Sharp gets up and hauls ass and goes and makes the tackle. And if he doesn't, there was a receiver downfield who might have been able to make it. Maybe not. But I will say, man, Bauer Sharp getting his ass off the ground, hustling to go make that tackle, probably saved you 4 points. Because the defense, after that quick change, that defense ends up holding them to a field goal, which I thought was huge. And it was a 3 and out. So it was incomplete pass, run for no gain, 42-yard field goal. You're down 3-0. But the point is, man, the defense came ready to play. They were unmoved by the quick change there. They were unmoved by the missed field goal in the second half after the interception. I thought they were awesome, man. Just all the way around. To go to Clemson and hold them to 261 yards. That Cade Klubnik, who threw 3,600 yards, 36 touchdowns last year, their top 3 receivers returning, all that experience on the offensive line, to go into their building and put them in a chokehold and hold them to 261 total yards. By the way, I don't know if you saw, Clemson ran for 31 yards in this football game. Clemson ran for 31 yards in the game. 20 attempts for 31 yards, an average of 1.6 yards per carry. How fucking good does it feel to say that you have a defense that just held Clemson in their building to 1.6 yards per carry? Unbelievable. They were, and it was everything that we said and saw. Like, they rotated so freely on the defensive line. You saw Bernard Gooden, 88 in there. You saw Don McKinley almost get an interception. Jamar Butler, the ball near the goal line, when Klubnik threw it right at Butler, Butler tapped it up, and then Don McKinley had his hand on it as well. Ahmad Bro, I thought, was really solid on the interior tonight. We'll look forward to seeing what the PFF grades are whenever those come out. But awesome performance. So it's 3-0. You're losing. You get the ball back. You put together another nice drive, but in this drive, the penalties start to bite you in the ass. Trey'Dez Green false starts. You convert because the next play they call PI against Trey'Dez. So you convert. Then Xavion Thomas gets 14 yards. And just like that, you're out around midfield at the 48. And then Caden Durham rips off a 15-yard run, but it comes back for illegal motion on Berrien Brown. It's a veteran receiver who gets pegged for an illegal motion right there. And I saw it when it happened. He shifted in and then turned upfield. And you just kept putting and that, by the way, on that 1st and 15 after that penalty is when LSU burned its second timeout. It's just like, it's why it's so hard. It's why winning this game is so impressive, because going on the road and winning is so fucking hard. And because of things like that, because of the crowds going nuts, and you have a veteran that commits an illegal motion penalty, and now all of a sudden, instead of being at their 35-yard line, now you're backed up to your own 43-yard line, and then you burn a timeout because the crowd's going bonkers. And it's just hard. You end up punting right there. You give them the ball, and you come up with a big stop there as well, man. They converted 1-2. They converted 3 first downs on that drive, but they ended up having a 3rd and 12 and having a punt. And then at the start of the second quarter is when you got the ball back. Another drive that was promising, but the sack on 2nd and 9, which you lost 12 yards, put you behind the sticks, and then you end up making the 53-yard field goal right there to tie the game at 3. They get the ball, and this is when they went and scored right before the end of the first half. The third, and you were this close to a 3-and-out again. They hit a 26-yarder on 3rd and 5, put the ball at the LSU 44, and that's when Klubnik started running the ball. And Klubnik started running. That was their adjustment. Klubnik started running the ball, and they started moving a little bit, and they converted the 4th and 2. That was probably defensively the biggest play of the first half. And on this drive, they went for it twice on 4th down. They converted 4th and 2 with the 21-yard reception. You got a sack on 1st down, by the way, after that. That was Perkins' sack. But then they would end up with 4th and goal from the 1, and they punch it in. It looked like, God damn, it looked like they had stopped him up at the line too. But Randall ended up plowing in. So you're down 10-3. You get the ball back with 4:36. And y'all, the thing about this moment right here, it's 10-3. It's 10-3, 4:36. Remember, because they're getting the ball to start the second half, they have the opportunity now, if you don't keep this drive alive, to go back to back. So you needed to put together a drive that didn't give them the ball, and you did exactly what you needed to do. This was the drive also where Tyree Adams got hurt, and DJ Chester went in at guard, where Harlem Berry had his first and only carry of the game. But you had a big 3rd and 9, and that's when Berry and Brown, they hit Berry and Brown for the 14-yarder. And that was the gigantic moment, because if you don't get that 14-yarder to Berry and Brown to convert, you're giving them the ball back with timeouts and about 3 minutes to play and a chance to go back-to-back end of the first half, start of the second half. But Brown converts. You would add 1. You also had the 16-yard reception where the reverse pass on this drive where Xavier Thomas threw the 16-yard reception. And then you ended up in the red zone. And then what we talked about happened. It's a 4th and 2. They call a timeout. Again, I have no problem whatsoever throwing the screen pass. My problem is not taking the points. That whole sequence, I'm okay throwing the screen pass with no timeouts, because either he's getting the first down, the clock stops, or he's not getting the first down, and you're turning it over on downs. There's 15 seconds left in the half. There's plenty enough time if he got the first down, stop the clock, get set, and throw the ball into the end zone. One shot into the end zone, it's either a touchdown or an incomplete pass, and then you go kick the field goal. So the screen, I didn't have a problem with. The problem that I had was not taking the points to begin with. Some of y'all are asking what cigar. This is Bocock. This is the national championship baseball cigar. Actually, this is just the base. This isn't the national champion one. This is just the baseball cigar. By the way, if you are a cigar smoker, I always encourage you to go to Don Juan Cigar Bar, of course. But if you do want to buy Bocock cigars by the box, go to their website, bocockbrothers.com. Use the code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15. They'll give you 15% off your order. So MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off. All right. So what was interesting to me at halftime is, y'all hear that buzz? That's my pool pump. Like, I don't know if you like, the pool pump is off. It's just buzzing every minute or so. I don't know what that is. Does anybody know what that is? T. Mitch said, Matt, I love you, dude. I love you too, T. Mitch. I love all of you very much. And I'm very glad that you're all here. Smoke a cigar while Moscona does root. No. Listen, y'all know I'm a partner in Parish, right? I'm an equity partner. I'm one of the owners. But we all have very clearly defined roles in that company. And you do not want me on your roof. Trust me. My job is make the phone ring. I'm pretty good at that. But we have awesome people that do a really good job of taking care of everything to do with your roof. And we'd love to help you out. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. So I will some of y'all I'll go to the second half here in a second. That is starting to annoy me. Now I'm paying attention to it. At halftime, I'm reading Twitter at halftime and looking at a lot of your comments. And I got a lot of complaints about Joe Sloan's play call, yada, yada, yada. Okay. I thought the play calling was awesome. They were so creative. And I'm not just talking about the reverse pass. I mean, just think about how they isolated Trades. They put a quad package to the right side. They had 4 receivers to the right and Trades to the left to isolate Trades just to throw up because it's a mismatch. And they drew 2 PIs and got a touchdown. Someone asked, is Nick Anderson hurt? Nick Anderson was in on the goal line series at the end of the game when Caden Durham scored. He was in on that. By the way, the play where they got to find it in my notes. The play where I'm going to find it. Anyway, I think it was a timeout. Or did they blow it dead was it the false start? I think it was Chris Hilton's false start. On Chris Hilton's false start, the action they ran that had Xavion coming underneath when everything was going left and Aaron Anderson came right and dumped it to him, he turned up, he would have scored on that fucking play. Go back and watch it. He would have scored on the play. It was such a beautiful play design, but it got wasted because of the penalty. I thought play calling tonight was great. You have to acknowledge, like, you can tip your cap to Clemson and acknowledge that is a tough place to play. That is a veteran, experienced defense, man. Like, that's a really good team you played, and you just went on the road there and put up 354 yards. I want to say this because back to the point about the first half. For all the bitching about the first half, in the first half, you outgained them 117 to 110. You outrushed them 65 to 19 in the first half. In the first half, you had 11 first downs. They had 6. What you had in the first half were 2 turnovers, 3 very costly penalties, and you wasted 2 timeouts. All of that will kill you on the road against a good team. And that's what happened. LSU put up 177 yards in the first half. They were moving the football. Drive stalled because you had some awful penalties. You had a hold. But by the way, on the punt return from Xavion Thomas, you had a hold that cost you 30 yards of field position. You had on the first punt, on their punt, on your return, you had holding. You had a false start by Trades Green. You had a legal motion by Barry and Brown. This is all in the first half. It's hard to overcome that shit as it is, especially on the road in that environment. But watching the first half, it just felt like if they just play cleaner, they're going to be fine. And lo and behold, they were. And by the way, the defense pitched a shutout in the second half. Can we all stand up and just applaud these fuckers? I mean, Cade Klubnik, top 3 receivers returning, all the experience on the offensive line, Garrett Riley, all that shit. And LSU's defense went and pitched a shutout in the second half. And by the way, Clemson scored on 2 possessions, and one of them was off an LSU turnover where they got a short field and they kicked a field goal. Like, that defense was awesome today, man. And it's why you could see a realistic scenario why LSU is going to be favored in every game they play the rest of the year. Like, I thought that was going to be the case anyway. The Bama would be the one exception. But after today, Bama looks like some bitches, y'all. Thomas Castellanos just ran straight fucking through Alabama. And Ty Simpson ain't scary for shit. They can't run the ball. They can't stop the run. Ty Simpson ain't very good. Like, they got nothing. The LSU pit asking about Nick Anderson. I told you, Nick Anderson played. He was in the slot on the right in the goal line sequence at the end of the game when on Durham's touchdown on the drive that ended in Durham's touchdown. All right. So you go to half, you're losing 10-3. You blow an opportunity to get points there at the end of the first half. You go into the second half, Clemson's getting the ball. And I tweeted, I was like, look, everything I just told you, I was like, you outgained them, more first downs, better rush. You outplayed them in the first half, but you made dumb dick mistakes, and it cost you. And you're losing 10-3. Like, you got to get a stop here to keep it a one-score game, and then you got to go score to tie it. And when that happens, then it's a brand new game, and now their sphincter starts to get really tight. And it's exactly what happened. Now, they drove down the field on their opening possession. They drove down the field, but they missed the 48-yard field goal. It was good on the defense to get the stop because they had, on 3rd and 4, they had a 19-yarder. Then on first down is when they had the 19-yard reception that was reviewed. And then defense, when they had the ball, just boom, boom, boom at LSU's 31. Defense bowed their neck, forced a 48-yard field goal attempt, missed it. It was a 12-play, 63-yard drive that they came up with no points. 12 plays, 63 yards, no points. Like, that was so significant to get the stop there. And then LSU gets the ball, and on first down, Weston Davis gets flagged for holding. So you get 1st and 20. And then what happened? 1st and 20, what happened? You remember? Aaron Anderson, middle screen, 39 yards. Boom. You're in business at their 40-yard line, back to Aaron Anderson for 14 more. And by the way, then the next play was the Bauer Sharp play where they threw it down the sideline. He was that close to dragging his feet. I mean, the guy LSU was so close. The Bauer Sharp play, the Berrien Brown touchdown, it was like a total screw job. But I mean, at the end of the first half, not getting points there, you're giving them 3 after the turnover in the first half, where Bauer Sharp was that close to being down. It just, you were really close. If you played a clean game, you would have run them out of the fucking stadium. Oh, by the way, you also had a 3rd and 5. Kyle Parker, 16-yard reception. Hell of a play by Kyle Parker right there in a massive spot. I mean, everybody's going to have their role on this team. They're so deep. They have so many skill guys offensively, and everybody's going to have their role. It's just a matter of being ready when it's your time. Like, I'm sure it's disappointing for Chris Hilton in this game that he had 1 catch and it was the fumble. That was it. But he's going to have his days where it's his day. Today was just a day where Aaron Anderson was awesome. Aaron Anderson finished the day with 6 catches for 6 for 99. He just missed a 100-yard day. Juwan Johnson had 5. Berrien Brown had 5. Bauer Sharp had 5. Caden Durham had 3. Trey Dez had 2 receptions. Xavion, Kyle Parker, Chris Hilton each had 1. But great to see him get all those guys involved. So anyway, after the Kyle Parker 16-yard reception, another PI against Trey Green, which, again, Trey drew 2 PIs and caught a touchdown. Like, teams are going to have to make a decision with him. Like, do you just molest him and get a flag, or do you try to play him straight up and he's going to beat you because he's 6'7" and he's a freak show? He's a total mismatch. The touchdown today is first of many for him this year. So Durham scores 10-10. So Durham had both touchdowns, right? I had that right. But Durham had one. Oh, Trey Nance. So Durham scores there. It's 10-10. 8:59 to play in the third quarter. They get a 10-yard reception. Then, boom, Mansour Delane interception. Hat tip Patrick Payton, who had the pressure. Go back and watch the play. Patrick Payton was pressuring Cade Klubnik, who was forced back, sailed the ball. Mansour Delane interception. Again, every level of your defense. The transfers you added on every level of the defense make you so much better. So you get the pick, and this was the Barry and Brown thing. And y'all, if LSU had lost this game, I think my tone about this would be very different. But when that play happened, real time, and I saw him hit the pylon, I said, that's touchdown. They ruled him out the one. Now, full disclosure, I was also pushing a Barry and Brown anytime touchdown prop bet. So I very much wanted the touchdown. When they came out of review, LSU was hurrying up the line, and I thought they were hurrying up, and then they blew the whistle. I thought they're blowing the whistle here. They were hurrying up the line to catch Clemson's defense on their heels. When they blew the whistle to review, I'm thinking, okay, that's a touchdown. When they came out and said incomplete pass, I just stared blankly at the TV. And I'll tell you, the only other time I had that reaction to a call like that was Nola no call. I'm not trying to be dramatic here, but it's the only other time I had a reaction like that. And I remember I was in the dome for Nola no call. I was in the dome for that. And I was with Josh Ennis, sitting there. We're at the 40-yard line, lower level behind the Rams bench. And I just sat there. And I have a whole Instagram story of this shit too. I just sat there and was like, just in disbelief. I was so shocked by how awful the call was. I didn't yet get to the point in the stages of grief that where I was angered. I was just in disbelief. That's what it was like tonight. Barry Brown caught the ball, made a football move, got 2 feet down, hit the fucking pylon. That's a touchdown. Like, he had possession inbound with a foot down inbounds and then went into the end zone. That is a touchdown. Like, if LSU had lost this game, this would have been an epic melt because of that call. I say it all the time. All officials are bad at their jobs. Replay review should help them be less bad at their jobs. In this instance, they failed mightily. I mean, it was one of the most horseshit calls I've ever seen. And it was a scoring play in a one-score game that could have cost you the game. Thankfully, it didn't. And then you miss the field goal after that. Like, everybody who is livid, pissed off, whatever you're saying about that, you're completely justified because that was horrendous. I have no explanation for you whatsoever. Even Bill LeMonnier in the booth on the TV broadcast talked about how awful that was. Thank God it didn't cost you the game. Because if you had lost the game, that's what we'd be talking about. So you missed the field goal. You're still tied at 10. And this is, I thought that this was aside from the end of the game, getting the stop to win it, I thought this was the biggest balls moment of the game for the defense. After you get, it's tie ball game, you get robbed of a touchdown, you miss the field goal, and your kicker is limping off. Defense goes back out there with 4:32 to play in the third in a tie ball game, and this is when the momentum could have gone the other way. What did they do? 7-yard run, loss of 2, incomplete pass, off the field, 3 and out. Fuck yeah, man. That was incredible. That defense, the leadership on that side of the ball, is amazing. There's just never a moment where they feel like they're not the best unit on the field. And I'm going to tell you right now, look at the quarterbacks you're going to face this year. Look at the quarterbacks you're going to face. You can tell me about DJ Lagway all you want. DJ Lagway last year threw as many interceptions as touchdowns. He had the same stat line as Michael Van Buren. You can tell me about Lenore Sellers. Sellers can't hit water if he fell out of a boat. And I got news for you, Coach. This LSU defense, they ain't letting any quarterback run for 150 yards on them, like what happened last year. Who else you going to face? You going to try to sell me on John Mateer? Some cat from Washington State coming into the SEC at Oklahoma. Like, you're going to sell me on that guy? That's going to be tougher than what you just faced? Fuck you. Diego Pavia, Taylon Green, nice players. Is any of that going to be more difficult than what you just faced tonight on the road? And your defense gave 10 points, pitched a shutout in the second half. Come on. It was amazing. Defense was awesome. Hat tip Blake Baker, incredible job. You know, we keep looking at sorry, I forgot what I was going to say because I saw this one. Hang on, I want to read this comment real quick. I can't find it. Damn it. He was basically saying like don't dog Washington State because of Costello, who went to Mississippi State, who set the record on LSU. That was a Bo Pelini problem. Bo Pelini ain't here no more. And are we sure Clemson is good? Yes. Like, this is always the thing, man. Like, this is always the thing. You go to practice, you watch team practice. If one unit is good, you say, does that mean the other unit is bad? Or is this unit good? So early in fall camp, think of it this way. Early in fall camp, we had all the reports that the LSU defensive line was overwhelming the offensive line. You surprised now? You get it? Do you get it now? Like, are you surprised that that defense was giving LSU's offense trouble? Like, now when I tell you Caden Durham's ripping off 65-yard runs and Barry Brown's hitting 40-yard touchdown passes, and like, now you realize, oh, like, that's really impressive to do against that defense because that defense is awesome. Yeah. Oh, they're doing the highlights right now, LSU Clemson. Yes. Dude, I could watch these highlights 1,000 times. This will never get old. And I also love the fact that LSU whipped their ass in the national championship, and some part of their brain, they're looking back at this going, that was their chance to get right from that. And LSU went to Clemson and got out of there with a win. And now Clemson has to come here next year with a new quarterback. Beautiful fucking play. Monster Delane, man. God. Someone asked me on Morning Scone if with Halsey out, Delane might play safety. I was like, absolutely not. Monster Delane is your best cornerback, and he's going to play cornerback because he is your best cornerback by a mile. Did Jake Brown play? Well done, Sonny from NOLA. Well done. You know you're a Moscona listener when. Anyway, so after the missed field goal, you force the 3-and-out, you get the ball back, and this is where you put together what was a beautiful touchdown drive to go take the lead. This is one that I could watch on loop forever and ever and ever. 11 plays, 73 yards, took 5:51 off the clock, gave LSU a lead they would not relinquish. You you converted on 3rd and 11. This is when they threw the PI when the guy was grabbing Xavier Thomas's jersey, and they were booing and shit. But fuck them, like we all saw it. I mean, the guy's holding Xavier Thomas's jersey for 5 yards. I mean, it was absolutely PI. That was 3rd and 11. So, I mean, look, if he doesn't grab him, Thomas is going to get open. He's going to convert the first down there. You overcome Chris Hilton's false start on 1st and 15. They were on the screen to Juwan Johnson. On 2nd and 11, they throw it to Aaron Anderson for 13 yards, and you get the personal foul on top of that whenever they hit Nussmeier late. So you start the 4th quarter at their 21-yard line, 9-yard reception to Tradez. No gain by Caden Durham. 3rd and 1, the QB sneak. Loved it. Beautiful call. You're at the 10-yard line. Durham runs for 2 yards, and on 2nd and 8, Tradez, boom, jump ball to Tradez Green for the touchdown. 17-10 Tigers, a lead they would not relinquish. Clemson went for it on a 4th and 5 on their next possession from the 33-yard line. It was incomplete. Weird in between zone right there. You're going to attempt a 50-yarder when you've already missed a 48. When you need a touchdown, so they decided to go for it there. Still a lot of time left in the game. But they went for it, gave LSU the ball back, and LSU went shoot up some clock, man. Shoot up some clock, punted. P.J. Woodland had a chance down the ball at the 3-yard line, let it go into the end zone, which was a bummer. On the first play is when you almost had the interception. Went through it to Jamari Butler. It got tipped up a little bit, but they end up punting, giving you the ball. You have a chance to ice it. You couldn't do it. You go 3 and out, punt, and then after a couple of big plays by Clemson, they had first down at the 21-yard line with time, and you kept making tackles. And then incomplete passes on 3rd and 4th down to end it. Incredible. Tigers win 17-10, beat Clemson. LSU will now very likely be next week, I would think, certainly in the top 5 in the country. Not that rankings matter, but LSU's playoff hopes now, odds skyrocket, because at this point, all you have to do is go 6-2 in the conference. Go 6-2 in the conference, and you're in the playoff. Not only because you're 10-2, but you also have on your resume a road win at Clemson, who's going to win the ACC, by the way. I mean, that's of the preseason All ACC team, the 22 members, 11 were from Clemson. You had like 6 on offense and 5 on defense. 6 on offense, 5 on defense. I mean, half of the preseason All ACC is from Clemson. So, I mean, now it's just a matter of like, what's your hang on, sorry. Let's see. Reed said, "What about the fumble in the first half?" You talking about Bauer Sharp? Bauer Sharp's fumble was a fumble. I mean, it was close, but his shin was not down. That was a fumble. So, anyway, all right, what y'all got? Fire away. Let's get your questions in. Please smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Thanks so much for being here with us on Whiskey and Wine. Let me take a quick second to talk about T-Bob. Hey, Winston. Winston's our neighbor's cat who's now walking by my feet. So I think everybody knows T-Bob took a job at Barstool. If you don't know, T-Bob took a job at Barstool. So he moved to Chicago. So he's no longer available to do this. I very candidly even if T-Bob was still here, I probably was going to bow out and have someone replace me this year on Whiskey and Wine at Don Juan. Just a big part of it is Whiskey and Wine with Matt Moscona and Winston the Cat. A big part of it is just as much of a vibe as it is to be there at Don Juan. You sacrifice a lot. I haven't been in Tiger Stadium since 2017. I never had the opportunity to go to a game, to watch games with my family, my wife. I'm not asking for your sympathy, by the way. I'm just explaining. Like, I do not need sympathy. I'm super blessed to do what I do. Whiskey and milk. But hi, Winston. So, when we go over to Don Juan, watch the first half at home, leave at halftime, go to Don Juan. Late nights always, and then I get home, and then I have to record Locked On. I'd be up till 3 a.m. a lot of Saturdays, then work at Sundays, watch the Saints game, cover stuff like that. So I just wanted to free up time and flexibility, and so that's why we're not at I haven't been to Tiger Stadium since 2017, because it doesn't make sense for me to go to the stadium when I've got to do Whiskey and Wine right whenever the clock hits 0. And when we were doing the show at Don Juan, and we had Don Juan was a sponsor, like, you are committed to that. I mean, it is non-negotiable. So I'm not going to go fight crowd traffic to go watch the first half and then leave and then be driving during the third quarter. Like, I need to watch the game and take notes and all the stuff I do. So, I haven't been able to go. I mean, even last year we're in Vegas. I left Allegiant in the third quarter so I could walk back to where we did postgame last year. So again, not asking for sympathy, but it's just, I just wanted more flexibility on my Saturdays. I wanted more freedom. If I want to go to a game with Erica, I'm gonna do it. If I want to do this show we're at an hour and 3 minutes, great. Want to stop right now? Cool. Before we had to go 90 minutes exactly. Just lets me do what just gives me a little more freedom, right? It gives me a little more freedom to do what I want. And by the way, I'm not saying I'm gonna do this solo the whole season. Like, I may have people come hang out with me and do the show with me. I may conference people in on video. I don't know. It'll evolve. Like, the beauty of this is that it's on my personal YouTube channel, so I can do what the fuck I want. So I will. So there's stuff you want to see, you want to do, let me know. More than happy to do it. Try it. See, y'all are saying call T-Bob. I legitimately don't think T-Bob can contractually go on other people's stuff. And someone said Hester next week. Hester can't do it because Hester is calling the game. So Hester's at the stadium calling the games. Big C. Big C would be fun. What a game, y'all. What a day. I would love to do a reunion with Jordy. Y'all saying bring back Jordy. But Jordy's out. Like, he's out of media. So I don't think I don't think he's got any interest in, doing the thing. But if he wants to do one, for sure. Let's see. Someone said, are you reading super chats? Here we go. Let's do them. David Tolson. Run game is reasonably good. Receiver game on point. Secondary DB you like. Should have taken 3 in the first half. Nice win. Jacob. LSU wins, Bama loses. What a good day. I'm telling y'all, I'm not even joking. I legitimately need help getting a white horse because I am doing a white horse. Like I'm riding a white horse dressed up like Chief, and I need a Chief Osceola costume. So I need help with this. I'm a man of my word. I'm no Chad Ochocinco. I'm no Dwayne from Thibodeau. I tell you I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And I told you that if Florida State messed up and beat Alabama, I would dress up like Chief Osceola and ride a white horse and throw a flaming spear in the ground. And I'm doing that shit. Like that's happening. So it'll be epic. Can't wait to do it. But I don't have a horse. So I need someone who knows something about horses or people who have horses to let me know how I can get on a horse, a white horse. Benny, Cardiac Cats are back. Hell of a defense. Hey, Wayne, thanks for being there. Gas Man, love the show. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate y'all so much for being here. Byron Joe David, Brian Kelly, decision making has to change. Y'all know I agree on the end of the first half. I will disagree with most fans, I think, on I thought the offensive play call today was great. I thought there was creativity. I thought they mixed it up. There was balance, which they did not have a year ago. LSU in this game ran it 31 times. They threw it 39 times. Nuss was 28 of 38. Xavier was 1 of 1. So Nuss was 28 of 38 for 230. Touchdown, no picks. A QBR of 133.2. Fucking awesome. Awesome. I thought you did a great balance. I thought you mixed it up. At times you took your shots. I thought they were great. Braden, what up, man? We're in that number. Don't forget Bama's burning. Bama looks so defeated, and I love it. They sorry, some ash fell on my leg. Loved seeing Alabama not just lose, but lose in the manner in which they did, where Thomas Castellanos from Boston College ran through them like, what did Nick Saban say? Shit through a tin horn? Hey, Bart. Congrats on the win. You're still in the SEC, so let's show it this is the toughest they'll have. Take a deep breath. Athens. Enjoy. Get your ass ready for Oxford in a month. LSU doesn't play in Athens. The 4 road games in conference LSU plays are Ole Miss, who I don't think is very good, Vanderbilt, who I don't think is very good, Alabama, who clearly isn't very good, and Oklahoma, who I don't think is – I think Oklahoma's probably a 7-win team. So, yes, I think Clemson will win the ACC and will be a college football playoff team. I don't think that's the case for any of LSU's other road games. So, yes, I do think this is the toughest game on LSU's schedule. I'm not saying that LSU is going undefeated. There are landmines everywhere. But I absolutely think this is the toughest game on the schedule. And you just went on the road and won it. Matt, forgot what it felt like to trust defense. True score was 24-10. Hey, man. Talking about the Barry and Brown play, you passed on points at the end of the first half. You gave them a field goal on Bauer Sharp's fumble. Could have been more. Ignoring the fact you have to come to Oxford. Yeah, because the high school stadium that Ole Miss plays in and a team that paid a bunch of mercenaries a year ago that are all gone now is not going to be very good. I'm not forgetting that LSU just go to Oxford. I just don't think Ole Miss is going to be very good. I like this defense. They have something special. Huge win in Alaska. But celebrating a huge win in Alaska. Got it. Let's see. They burned a timeout to discuss the fourth down play at halftime. 30 seconds to discuss the play in detail. They line up not knowing the play. I don't know that they lined up not knowing the play, Greg. I think they were checking at the line based on the defense Clemson was in. That was you could say confusion, but that was the shifting, is Nuss was getting them in the right check based on what defensive alignment Clemson was showing. And because you were coming out of a timeout, you had time. You were in no danger of running the play clock down there. Celebrate a huge win in Alaska. Love it. Patrick, Gas Man, appreciate y'all. Gas Man. How the hell did they know that I got gas? Frank, you said LSU and Clemson were evenly matched ad nauseum. I've been saying the opposite is true for 6 months. It was apparent. Turns out the loud, the few were right, 24-10. I'm sorry, what? It was a 17-10 ball game, and Clemson had the ball in your red zone with a chance to tie it at the end of the game. That was a close game, bro. Now, I also said all offseason that I think LSU wins the SEC and is a college football playoff team. And I also said if they play Clemson again in December, January, they'll dog walk them. Because the things that prevented you in this game, Barry and Brown call notwithstanding, from blowing the doors off of Clemson were 2 bad turnovers and some very costly penalties, wasting timeouts, all the shit that happens sometimes in the first game of the year, which is why I would really like for the first game of the year to be against directional State U and not Clemson until everybody's playing the same schedule. Hey, Benjamin, Clayton, Alex, love what you do. Call T-Baba to be epic. I just texted him. I genuinely don't think he can, but I just texted him. We'll see. All right. No call on the blindside, pick block on Delane. I'd have to go back and see. I'm not exactly sure what play you're talking about, Nate. My apologies. Greg, whose idea is to put college football or that CB man on green at the goal line for him? Well, Greg, the problem is nobody's got to do that 6'7". What do? Cornerbacks are 5'10" to 6'1" usually. I mean, even DJ Pickett, 6'5", was giving up 2 inches and 50 pounds. Matt, did you feel Nuss displayed poise throughout the game? I don't feel he played poorly. Didn't feel he flashed. Open to disagreement. Man, I think the first half was a real challenge. I thought not only did he avoid the big mistake, I don't even think there was ever a point in the game where he got away with a potential big mistake. That's what we wanted to see, was him be really smart with the football. And they ran a design run for Nussmeier, by the way, that when he ran around end, ran for 10 yards. I thought he threw a beautiful deep ball to Barry and Brown. The ball I threw on the sideline to Bauer Sharp was beautiful. I thought Nuss played really well in this game. Scoreboard doesn't reflect how bad we beat Clemson's ass. Please look at the game stats by team, everyone. Matt, random coach, anytime would be dope. Okay. Anthony, Bama's coach, doesn't know how to handle a team of alphas. I don't think he has a team of alphas. I think that's the problem. I think I remember having this conversation with Ryan Fowler when DeBoer got hired. Hey, Kenny. And he was saying, well, people can actually breathe around the football ops now. The whole, it's like this dark cloud has been lifted. People can breathe. They're not walking on eggshells all the time. And I said, dog, that's the reason Bama whipped everybody's ass for 17 years, is because Nick Saban had the highest standard and demanded everybody live up to it. And the second he left, everybody chilled. And it's so obvious. Bama's a bunch of bitches. Like, look at it. Like, it's one, like, teams lose games. Like, sometimes you lose. How they lost today, they laid down and got whipped. Their ass got whipped at the line of scrimmage. Both lines of scrimmage. Charles, what are we drinking? Come on now. LSU gets a top 10 win on the road to open the season, and this 5-game season opening losing streak. I'm here for it. All of it. Samuel, I live in Indianapolis. Hope Notre Dame loses. I can let the Indy fans hear it on Tuesday. I don't have a really strong – I think Notre Dame will beat Miami. I don't really care one way or another about that. But I guess the Notre Dame – I just think that – I guess I think the Notre Dame fans care way more about hating Brian Kelly than LSU fans care at all about Notre Dame, if that makes sense. Trayley, what's up? Kenny, Gulf South, what's good, man? Let's see, live viewers. What's Nightcap? 15K Barstool, 41 U47. Love it. What's I don't know what Nightcap is there, Gulf South. Mark Allen. Mark, if you go and create oh God, you know what? And I can't tell anybody eating crow because I picked Clemson in this game too. So my pick was wrong. I know in the graphic on social media they just put Hester, Flynn, Hunt, and me, but our whole staff made picks, and it was like 5 LSU, 4 Clemson, I think. So it's pretty evenly split. Yeah, but I can't say anything about somebody else picking Clemson. I picked Clemson. For exactly the reason that the first half played out, where it felt like you were outplaying them, but it's really hard to go on the road in that environment and be mentally tough and limit mistakes. And LSU was making a ton of mistakes. And then in the second half, they got their shit together. Nuss let it hang out. And I think the offensive adjustments with the short and intermediate passing game, getting Nuss going, getting the receivers involved was awesome. It was a great adjustment offensively. You put up nearly 400 yards offense, and your defense just suffocated them. It was awesome. Benjamin, Blake, appreciate y'all, man. Thanks to everybody for being here. Never more confident defense since 2011. I mean, it's just one game, but you might not be wrong. Because it's not like these are guys that you're hoping make a jump. Like, it's all dudes that are proven at the Power 5 level. You know what I mean? Like we knew Patrick Payton was a dog. Like Jack Pyburn is strong and tough as shit, was wrecking people. Like Harold Perkins is healthy. Wood Weeks is an All-American. Monsoor Delane started 20-something games in his career at Virginia Tech. Like, we know he's a great DB. A.J. Halsey's an all-conference defensive back. Like, we're not guessing. Those dudes are awesome. They just they went and sunk. Bro, like, you go spend $18 million on your roster. Fuck, this is what it should look like. So this is what it looks like. Delane looks great. Looks like the real deal. Gives me Corey Webster vibes. Sticky DB we've been looking for. Do you think is our next great? Well, you're only going to have probably for 1 year. So I don't know what you could say that he's going to be the next great because he's going to be playing on Sundays next year. But he was awesome tonight. He was fantastic. All right, y'all, please smash that like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all so much for hanging out with us here. As always, I want to give another big shout out to Got Lit Light Installers. Get my buddy Derek Hudnall with Got Lit. They've done our Christmas lights the last few years. Totally worth it. If you, like me, hate installing Christmas lights, but your wife, your family wants them, hire Got Lit. It could not be an easier process. They'll come to your house. They'll assess. They'll give you an estimate of what it'll cost. And then based on what you want, like, do you want your roof done, just the front of the house? Do you want other luminaries? What do you want? And they'll give you a price. And then they come, put everything up. It's beautiful. When the season's end, they come, take it all away. It could not be easier, and it's awesome. So gotlitlights.com, gotlitlights.com, gotlitlights.com. Let me drop that in the chat again, in case if you missed it the first time, but gotlitlights.com. Don't wait. That's the thing I got to stress to you, because most people think I'll wait till November. Like, if you wait till Thanksgiving, it's too late. Like, they do all of their estimates and sign up all the jobs like in September. And then they started, I think they installed ours maybe the week before Halloween last year. So like by the time you get to November, like they're done, bro. By the time you get to Thanksgiving, like it's game over. So be proactive. Do this now. GotLitLights.com. Remember 929 Misfits. Well, you can get your Nussbus shirt at 929misfits.com. Use the code Nussbus18 for 18% off. I think that's only through the holiday weekend, by the way. Oh, you know, I need to add the final score to that graphic. That thing's been scrolling on the bottom this whole time, and I ain't fixed that yet. I ain't added the final score. Hang on. Final score. LSU 17, Clemson 10. Save. Show. There we go. Now it's there. All right, y'all. What else y'all got? Might be about to wrap this thing up, unless y'all got something else. Good win on the road. Mike, 2023 off 20. Man. No, come on. Check yourself, Mike. Check yourself. 2019 LSU is the greatest team any of us have ever seen. Gulf South. Thoughts on Texas and Arch? That's one I did get right today. I picked Ohio State, and I'm not surprised. A lot of y'all have been asking about the pick play. Like where they picked up the flag. Is that the one you're talking about? Where they ran the pick play and then they picked up the flag because the pass was completed behind the line of scrimmage. So there's no pick play. What's confusing about that? I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to be standoffish. Like, someone said 95 Nebraska against 2015 LSU. That's not the answer. 95 Nebraska was good, different era of football. The ball was completed behind the line of scrimmage, so there's no pick. That rule is nullified. Thoughts on Northwestern denying Tulane the unis? Yeah, man. And how this would be Perkins' worst game health-wise this season. Yeah, good for John Summerall. I saw what he said after the game. So Tulane wanted to wear white uniforms at home today. The uniforms they wore post Katrina, and Northwestern denied the request. So fuck Northwestern for that. That's shitty. And good for John Summerall. Tulane's good. They had the second best odds to start the season to be the G5 playoff representative. Boise had the best odds, and Boise got the shit kicked out of them the other night. So big win for Tulane. I mean, it's against a crappy Big Ten team, but it's still against a Power 4 opponent. It looks good on the resume. So good for him. Arch. I just guess I don't know what people expected. So a guy making his first, I know Arch started like against ULM or some shit, but like, and maybe Mississippi State, but like, so as the full-time starter, he's making his first start on the road in Columbus against Ohio State, defending national champs, 100,000 people, like 4 new starters on the offensive line. Like, what the fuck did you expect? I mean, that's what I thought that game was going to be. 2 defenses that are really talented that were going to feast on offenses with inexperienced quarterbacks. I think Arch will be fine. I think he'll keep getting better. I think Texas is a good team. And I have LSU and Texas in the SEC championship game. So someone said, why do we care about Arch? Because you're in the SEC. Like, there's a chance you're going to run up against him, you know? Bro. Stamps. Let me ask about. Hey, let me see if I can get you an answer on Stamps real quick. Jeez. Hang on one second. I'm gonna text right now. And see if I can get that answer. All right. If I get a reply before we're done, I'll share it with you. All right. What else y'all got? Biggest loser today, Paul Feinbaum. Why? I'm in Baltimore, randomly watching the game with a crowd of Clemson fans. Felt good. True. Texas losing at Ohio State, Bama losing to Florida State is just high comedy. And I know there's some people will ask, like, does that hurt the SEC? No. Like, someone asked, did you look at what Underwood did? I did not. I know Michigan was playing some bullshit school. I'll tell you this much. I am very much interested next week when Michigan plays Oklahoma in Norman. And if Oklahoma doesn't wreck Michigan with a freshman quarterback, I mean, bro. So Underwood today, they played New Mexico, 134-17, whatever. 21-31 for 251, a touchdown and a pick. A touchdown, no picks. Sorry. QBR 54.2. Whatever. Michigan ran it 32 times for 201. Played New Mexico. See you next week. Tony, I've answered this one. Given tonight, what do you think would be the toughest game? This one. I think this is going to be your toughest game of the regular season. Here you go. Stamps was listed third on the depth chart. I'll see if I can get an answer. Destin Hill was the only other injury, upper body injury, streak closed in the second half. There you go. Punter looked way better than last year, man. You had a chance at the end of the game and down one at the 3-yard line. PJ Woodland just kind of muffed it into the end zone. So Uh-oh. Look at Cal. Cal's doing work on Oregon State right now. Cal, that traditional ACC team. All right. All right, y'all. Man, 3,000 of y'all still hanging on with us, and I am super grateful for that, man. Admittedly, I also it is 11:51. Admittedly, Ramos is good. Ramos had a cramp. That's all it was. He was back in and kicked the PAT after Trey has his touchdown. It's still ain't good. I think it's pretty good. All right, y'all. Let's wrap this thing up. Please smash that like button. I appreciate y'all so much for being with us. Look, LSU's record going forward. I had them 10-2 this year, but I had them losing to Clemson and going 7-1 in the league and getting to the SEC championship game and winning it. So I guess at this point I'll pick them 11-1. I don't know what game I think they're going to lose. I think they're going to be favored in every game the rest of the way. But the SEC is littered with landmines, man. And, but I will say also, I love the fact that you avoid back-to-back road conference games. I love the way the schedule shapes out. You get Southeastern before you go to Ole Miss. You get an open date before you play South Carolina. You get an open date before you play Bama. You get Western Kentucky before you play Oklahoma. You get Vanderbilt before A&M. He's all right. Going to be good to go. Good to go. So now, Clemson has lost 3 straight openers. Make it 4 next year when they come to the real Death Valley. We don't have to take a bus around the stadium to run down a hill. I can't believe they think that's cool. Like, that seems like some silly shit, to be honest. Like, I'm not trying to crap on them because I know that's the whole most exciting blah-blah bloop or whatever. But, like, getting on a bus in full uniform and driving around the stadium to ride down the hill, that's some elementary bullshit. It's like, well, just put the locker rooms by the hill. Why the fuck you gotta go ride a bus around a stadium? I mean, seriously, like full unit, like cleats and shit, shoulder pads, get on a bus, full gear. Like, I didn't think that was cool. I can acknowledge if I think something's cool. Like other people, so other places got cool traditions and shit. All right. Imagine if. All right, y'all. Let's bounce. Y'all have an awesome night. What do you say we do it again next Saturday when the Tigers go 2-0? How nice is it that Alabama is 0-1? They have the shit kicked out of them by Florida State. And LSU just scored the biggest win of the opening weekend. LFG. Hey, quick reminder, now I'm going to go inside. I'm going to record Locked on LSU. So please check that out, by the way. If you're not subscribed to Locked on LSU, please do podcast or YouTube. I'm going to go record my concise, 30-minute Locked on LSU. We do that here in a second. So we are working on Monday on Labor Day. So OTB, Hunt Palmer, Live at Lunch, Hunt Palmer Show, AFR, we're all working on Labor Day. So it's the Monday after the first game. You better believe we're all going to be talking about this. So we are doing shows on Monday, so we'll look forward to seeing y'all there. All right, thanks for being here, y'all. Have an awesome one. Shout out to all of our sponsors. Smash the like button.